And it rained and rained and rained some more, 40 days and nights, and then Noah built an ark and floated up with it. Well, you and I don't have an ark. What do we do when the water level rises at our local lake if we still want to catch fish? I'm going to talk about that on this week's show, and we're taking you to a place where the water level has risen more dramatically than any place I've ever seen in my life. It's going to be a lot of fun and a challenge. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Southwest.
I'd like to welcome you in to a really beautiful area. This is the water supply reservoir for the city of Austin, Texas. Welcome in to Lake Travis. Very dramatic thing happened here this spring. The water level had dropped to the point it was 55 feet below normal level. Then, in the space of just a few weeks, the water level began to rise. It rained and rained and rained, and it came up 45 feet. 12 feet of it overnight in one 12-hour period. To give you some perspective, this is my Bass Tracker Pro Team 175. If you stack 2.5 of those end to end, standing straight up, that would be how much the water level has risen here at Lake Travis in such a short period of time. The challenge that presents is, what do the fish do? How do you find them? How do you catch them? Not only here, but in your local lake where the water has risen. We're going to talk about that on this week's show. It's going to be a lot of fun, could be a big challenge, but these fish can be found and can be located if you use a few techniques that we'll show you today. While we're out doing that, we're taking you around your local region for your weekly fishing reports from our team of insider reporters. They've got all the reports coming your way. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get it all started right now. Back at the studio with your weekend planner.
It looks like you have a chance to beat the heat this weekend by fishing early. The Salooner tables are predicting the best morning game fish activity to begin at 7:28 a.m. on Saturday and 8:16 a.m. on Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 6:28 and set at 8:38. And evenings will feature a crescent moon that is 20% visible. We'll be right back with freshwater and coastal fishing updates from around the region. Plus, 2004 Bassmaster Angler of the Year Gerald Swindle joins us to answer this week's Ask the Pro question. But first, here's a peek at some photos from the Costa Catch of the Week contest. These contestants did not win, but we still thought you might want to enjoy some of these nice catches.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Lose, setting a new standard of fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. And by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability.
I got one right off the tops, one of those bushes right there. Let's see what it is. Out here it can be most anything. Hey, welcome back everybody. We're on Lake Travis in Central Texas. We're talking about fishing flooded conditions in whatever lake you happen to live around, and some of the things we're going to talk about will work anywhere. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing a deep diving crankbait at just the right level where it brushes the tops of some of these flooded bushes. Now, the bushes that I'm fishing were literally on dry ground a month ago. So these fish have come up in a month. I'm trying to be real easy with this fish because I've got real light line on here. The water's real clear here. I may have him a little bit foul hooked or something, maybe why he's fighting me so hard. They are out here in these deeper treetops. So I've got a crankbait that I'm pulling along over the tops. There he comes. Yep, I've got him gill hooked. Pretty nice bass. Oh, don't jump. Got him hooked right under the gill. And he's got all the leverage on me. I got him. All right. Hey, that's a nice bass right there, sitting right on the top of that bush. So there's lesson number one, is you're actually fishing on the bushes that were on dry ground. Look how fat that fish is out there eating. Nice largemouth right there. And that crankbait runs around 12, 13 feet deep, which is perfect for fishing the tops of these bushes. I don't know if we can even see them or not, but you can actually see the very tops of the bushes way down under the surface of the water here. Those are the good ones. Out in deeper water. For some reason, those fish don't really want to get up in those shallow ones a lot of the time. They will right after it rises, but after that, it's a little harder. All right. He gave me a good fight. See you, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, that's a good lesson right here and a good start to the day fishing along these little bushes and islands here. Let's get you some fishing reports from Brady.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you by the Lakes of Wood County with 87 fishable lakes, including world famous Lake Fork, but that's not all. There are year-round activities for the entire family. More fun in Wood County than just the lure of big fish. Now this week we're here on Lake Livingston, which is a little bit high, but it's perfect for flipping boat docks. Bass fishermen want to use Texas rigs and or jigs in colors like black blue or green pumpkin in the jigs and your soft plastics June bug watermelon red. Flip those boat docks in and around, you'll catch your bass. Striper fishermen, look to the island. To the west and the north, you'll find the stripers holding off big structure anywhere from 10 to 20 feet down. Use your bigger baits, plastic bodies on a jig head, to catch the big stripers. For the sand bass, downsize to a smaller plastic body and a smaller head while they're subsurface, and of course keep a top water or two handy for those schooling fish. And finally, catfish also around the island and the dam. Use your prepared catfish baits or cut bait for those. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by the Lakes of Wood County. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. You'll find him on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, on the upper coast in Sabine and Galveston, look for more downstream flow of fresh water to push more fish to the south end of the bay system and onto the jetties. Anglers should use heavier 3/8 ounce jig heads to fish deeper shell and around the granite rocks. The upper coast surf has been productive, so has the beachfront from San Luis Pass to Pass Cavallo. Topwater baits early with a switch to soft plastics when the bait slows. The grass beds in Espiritu Santos and from Paul Mott southward to the Lydia Ann Channel have produced good trout and redfish. Live shrimp under a rattling float or soft plastics have been the best option. Now redfish are working in East Flats, the inside of Dagger and Trailer, and coves and pockets behind Mustang Island. The deeper water adjacent to these areas have been good on falling tides. Packery Flats and around the boat hole are starting to give up some nice fish. The grass beds from the JFK Causeway to the rocks at the mouth of Baffin continue to produce for those fishing croaker, topwater lures, and soft plastics. Grass flats adjacent to the Intercoastal Waterway out of Port Mansfield have produced on an outgoing tide. Early in the day, topwater lures take top honors. From 3 islands southward to Port Isabel, those fishing the sand pockets and grass beds have been rewarded. South Bay, the jetties, and causeways have given up a variety of fish on a variety of baits. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm hooked up again. Tell you, there's some fish out here. I don't really care what I catch today. Stripers, whites, Guadalupe, largemouth, doesn't matter. The point is, I'm walking you through the steps of what happens when a lake floods or comes up a lot, like this one has. We're on Lake Travis, and let me walk you through the steps when a lake first comes up. First thing that happens is all that vegetation and all those bushes that have been on dry ground for, in some cases, years, like they have been here at Travis, get flooded, and the fish follow them immediately right up to shallow water. No matter what time of the year it is, those fish love all that cover and vegetation and food, and they'll get shallow. But then about 2 weeks later, all that stuff starts souring and decomposing, and the fish run out. They vacate quickly, and you can't catch a fish in all that newly flooded stuff. So you've got to back out to deeper water. Then what happens is what's happened here right now at Travis. Let's see what I got here. That's a striper. Up he comes. Not a bad fish. There we go. How about that? All these fish are doing the same thing, I'm telling you. They're where the bait is, and the bait hangs out in the third stage of what I'm about to tell you. Let's put that fish back. All right, that brings us to the third stage. After the shallow stuff, after all that decomposing is finished and the water turns back clear again, then the fish will move back to the outside cover. And so that's what we're doing today. We've got the shallow stuff that you can see with your naked eye, and we're fishing the stuff that's down underneath. In fact, I'll show you what a couple of these bushes look like on my Aransas Elite 7 chirp unit back there. They're very obvious as you come over the top of them, and these fish, stripers, we've caught white bass, we've caught Guadalupes and largemouth. 4 species we've already caught right off the tops of those deep submerged trees that are way down there, bushes. All right, that gets you some idea of the process. Let's get you some fishing reports from your area.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox, Louisiana Outdoor Fishing Report. I tell you what, earlier this week, I had the pleasure of going out with David and Daniel Campisi. We all decided to head down and go red fishing, and thank goodness. As you can see, we were snarching and yanking all morning long. Captain Kevin and his guys came in with a whole limit of redfish. Captain Carlos came in with a limit of redfish, and Captain Cade Brown and myself, along with our guests, came in with a limit of redfish. Over at Delacroix, Louisiana, Sweetwater Marina, talked to Captain Jack. He's catching lots of speckled trout and redfish. Lots of redfish in the shallow water marshes, then he goes out and he catches the speckled trout. Over in Shell Beach, Captain Britt Ardees, he's been coming in with a good mixed stringer of trout and redfish almost every day. Down in Slidell, Louisiana, Captain John Falderman, talked to him. John's having a real good mixed bag. He's catching redfish, speckled trout, drum, sheephead, you name it, he's catching it down there in Slidell, Louisiana. The key right now, though, in most areas, friends, is live bait. Live pogies, live Krogers. Here in Calcasieu Lake, it's live shrimp. Fishing all across the Gulf Coast right now is really good. You need to come on down. Call Cajun Phil, 337-540-5530. I'll put you in touch with the guys all across the state, or come on down to the Cajun Paradise Lodge and Charters, like we say, and come and get you something.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors. Introducing the XI5 for ultimate boat control. By Fort Worth Nissan. Fox Sports Outdoors is powered by Fort Worth Nissan. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made.
Got him. Boy, they are out here. I tell you what, fish of all kinds. Welcome back, everybody. That's a bass. There he comes. I'm just going to ski him the rest of the way in. He's a little bit too big to be flopping in on that little line, the largemouth. All right. Well, we've got some of everything, and let's talk about another factor here. 2 things. One is we've talked about bait fish. Let's talk about mud. A lot of times when you've got rising water, you've got a mud line in these lakes. Let's put that little 14, 15-inch bass back. Got a lot of fish moving. And so you want to try to fish on the clear side of the mud line. Somewhere in the lake, there's going to be clearer water. Sometimes when it rises quickly, it'll push the clear water to the backs of the pockets and the coves and the creeks. Sometimes it'll push it all to the lower end of the lake and the entire upper end will be muddy. You've got to drive around and find that mud line and stay on the clearest side of it you can. Now, of course, there are some times when they pull that mud all the way through the lake and the whole thing turns muddy. We had that situation at Lake Texoma this year, and there's really not much you can do in that circumstance, but wait it out, wait till they shut the gates, let things stabilize. It'll take 2 to 3 weeks for most reservoirs to stabilize out after the gates are closed and after the current stops moving through the lake from all the runoff, from all the rain flooded out of all the pastures and fields. So, find the clearest water you can find the bait fish on tops of the flooded cover, and you are in business. And I'm telling you, we're catching them one right after the next today. This has all of a sudden gotten really good. Time for you to get some more fishing and lake reports right now.
Hey, as all of our big lakes here in Oklahoma continue to head back down to normal lake levels for the summertime, it looks like Grand Lake of the Cherokees is going to be the first to get there. And the bass fishing is really good on Grand right now at this time. Tournament partners George Tolson and Tom Haynes had a really good tournament there a couple of weekends back. He said that they fished two different events, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. On Saturday, their 4 fish limit weighed about 16 pounds. Sunday, the 4 fish weighed about 19 pounds. They had big bass on Sunday of almost 6 pounds. All of their fish, as well as he said most of the anglers they talked to, were catching their fish on biffle bugs, on 11/16 ounce hardheads, fishing main lake points. Best colors were Bama bug and also the dark watermelon variations that Gene Rue has in that biffle bug. Now he said those main lake points are usually out in front of the clumps of willows and other brush there that have been flooded. As the waters come down, just pull those fish out on the points to really congregate. He said on Sunday they probably caught 65 or 70 bass with a lot of those 3-pounders. A lot of fun there. George has always been really good with the biffle bug, but he just got back from Minnesota's Lake Mille Lacs where he and several Oklahomans had gone. They caught a lot of smallmouth on the biffle bug, so he was really dialed in right now anyway. Now, Charles Jewell tells me that over around the south central part of the state that the high water there has slowed the fishing, but it's starting to come back now. He said Lake Murray has been good of the area, and he said that the best evening events have been on spinnerbaits and chatterbaits. A Tuesday night tournament a couple of weeks back, he said the 2 8-pounders were caught. Charles, I appreciate your updates from that part of the state. It's going to be a really good summer fishing here in the state because our waters are going to be in great shape, but one thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Oh, there we go. There's one more decent bass right there. Look at this. Don't you throw that crankbait. All right, in the boat you come, baby. Way to go. All right, there's one more for you. Hey, we're about to go to a quick commercial break. There's one more bass on a deep diving crankbait right out over those brush piles. This has really been a great pattern, and I'll tell you, we have wound up catching a lot of fish. These fish didn't start biting until late this afternoon. And we had a really slow morning. It was really difficult. They started biting in the afternoon, and once they did, it was everything. Stripers, Guadalupes, largemouth bass, white bass. We caught everything this afternoon and a bunch of them. All right, back that fish goes. I want to show you one quick thing going to break. I did catch one pretty nice Guadalupe bass earlier, and I wanted to show you this fish just out of novelty. There's not many of these around, not many places these fish are. They're only native to the central part of Texas. They're the state fish of Texas. You can see this one I caught out from under a boat dock. He's a beautiful color, stripes under his belly, gold, brown, and green mottled back. Great fighter, and they only get to about 1.5 pounds, but they're real fun fish. A very unique fish just to this part of the state of Texas. Hey, if you would like to book a fishing trip here to Lake Travis, you can contact Alan Christensen here in Austin. The information you see on your screen, he would be glad to bring you out and put you on some of these fish. Give him a call. We'll be right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Tracker Boats. It's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. By Mercury Marine, official outboard of Fox Sports Outdoors. And by Aransas Electronics. Find, navigate, dominate.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pro segment where viewers get expert insights from professional anglers. This week's question comes from Brady, who asks, how can I keep from missing fish on a buzzbait? For the answer, we checked with 2004 Angler of the Year, Gerald Swindle.
Often asked how to prevent missing more fish on a top water or even a buzzbait. Hey, try a little bit softer rod, 7-foot, medium heavy. And remember, if you're throwing fluorocarbon, it has less stretch than the old school monofilament. If you're missing too many, drop back and try some monofilament 20-pound test on a buzzbait and a medium heavy action 7-foot rod. I promise you, you're going to get more hookups.
Thanks, Gerald. If you have something to ask one of the pros, simply visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now, someone's going to win a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
Hey, this week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is Jamie Goss of Houston, Texas, showing a 26.5-inch speckled trout off the Galveston jetties in Texas. And it shows that big trout can be caught off the jetties and you don't have to have a boat. If you would like to have a chance to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Right inside of the front page, click in the Costa Catch of the Week area, send us your photo. You could be our next winner. And what you'll win is a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses. You can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles at their website. Just go back to the front page of our website, click on the Costa logo, and it'll show you everything they have to offer on their site, including the beautiful blue framed pair of sunglasses I was wearing on this week's show. This frame style is called Cat K. This week on the Academy Right Stuff, I want to talk a little bit about the rig I was fishing on Lake Travis today. Now, you see me fishing a lot out of this Bass Tracker Pro Team 175 TXW. Why? Because I love to fish out of this rig. It's everything you could possibly want in an affordable, compact fishing boat, all the way from the 60 horsepower, 4-stroke Mercury outboard engine on the back to the Motor Guide X3 trolling motor on the front, carpeted live wells, full instruments, got the Aransas electronics on it, everything you need. There's a complete walkthrough of this boat on our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. You just click on the past episodes and more videos here, and then click on the how-to video section. Once you get there, search down until you find my video on the Bass Tracker Pro Team 175, a complete rundown of this rig that I love so much. I spend a lot of time on the water, some of it big water. A lot of times there are waves, sometimes big waves. Many times if you look at just the wave in front of you and how big it is coming crashing toward the front of your boat, it can be plenty frightening. But there's an old captain's tip that says once you're out on the ocean, if you get scared of the big waves, look off to the horizon, you won't get seasick and you'll be much less frightened. You know, life is a lot like that. We have peaks and we have valleys. The peaks, in the good times, hey, everything's rocking along, but in those tough times when there are failures, hurts, and disappointments in our life that we have to endure, many times it will help to try to get our eyes off the little picture, the immediate problem, the immediate challenge in front of us. Look at the wider scale, bigger picture. Look at life downstream, and many times you'll find more peace and more calm than you ever imagined in the time of a storm. Hey, I hope you enjoyed our trip today to Travis Lake, just outside Austin, Texas. Here's the deal. I hope you won't be so focused on what we were doing in particular on this lake, but I want you to take the principles, the techniques that we showed you fishing rising water conditions. Take those to your home lake, employ these, and you'll catch more fish the next time you get a lot of rain and you find your reservoir rising rapidly. I wish you a lot of success doing that. Hey, don't forget to join us for next week's episode. We'll be on at our normal time, 10:30 p.m. Thursday, with the repeat airing Saturday morning at 7:30. And don't forget that you can see all of our episodes 24/7 on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. And again, you can click on the past episodes and more video here area. You can see all of our archived episodes and catch up on any that you missed. Also, don't forget to follow us on our Twitter feed for all the latest fishing news, photos, videos, and free gear that we give away there, and like us on our Facebook page. From Lake Travis, Texas, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.